situation once in a while, just to sit down and do an introspection and ask yourself, why am I being at this level of life that I am? Why am I keep on circling around and not achieving what I want to do? And the second one, have you ever ask yourself, why are you so afraid of standing out from the crowd? And be yourself and let your voice be heard. Then the third question is, which is very heartbreaking. Why is it that you try so hard to fit in, to the point that you even compromise your values, to the point that you succumb so much to peer pressure just to try to fit in? Why? I call it myself dilemma of acceptance. Every time we are trying to be accepted. We are trying to listen so much to people, to what they say, so that they define and guide us to become who we want to be. Of course, the answer to all these questions is fear. But fear of what? The first one is because we are so afraid of what people will think about us, of what people will say about us. Then the second one, we are so afraid because we are resistant to change. We don't want to change. We don't want to try new things. We are afraid to get disappointed and heartbroken. The third one, we are just afraid sometimes of success. Yes, some people are intimidated by success. They think of any idea, they don't write it down into business proposal because they are so afraid. They are so afraid of their visions because it's too big. But you can narrow it down into something that you can achieve, right? So fellow Toastmasters, allow me at this point to introduce you, or allow me at this point to talk about my journey of becoming the person that I am today. My title is Becoming. But before I go into my story, let me start by telling you 3 steps or 3 lessons that I have learned in this journey of becoming. The first one is, I have learned that you start to live the moment you discover yourself. The moment you know who you are, you define yourself, you have values. The moment you grow in self-awareness, that's the moment you start to live. Then the second one, the moment you remove the word fear in your vocabulary and know that you're not supposed to be afraid of even making mistakes. In my life, I don't have the word regret. It's so weird to many people because a lot of people, they're living a life that they're regretting. But I don't have that. Why? It's because I've learned that from mistakes, that's the moment that you start to grow. I've learned that I'll never call it a regret, but I'll call it a lesson. And the third one is, happiness is a choice. You decide, do you want to be happy or not? Today, you may just stand up and say, I want to be angry. This thing is boring. It's a choice. So happiness is a choice. Every time you get to a situation that you are not happy with something, because you have decided to see the negative and not see the positive. So those are the 3 things that I have learned in this journey of becoming. Then let me take you back to my story. Like in my life, I didn't grow up with my father. My father passed on when I was very young. I can't even barely recognize his face right now. So I grew up with only my mom. But in 2007, something happened. But before I talk about that thing, my mom was like a pillar of strength. She was my source of inspiration. She even went to a point that she could tell me and make me feel that I can achieve anything that I want and be who I am. But 2007, something happened. That source of inspiration was taken from my life. My mom passed on in 2007. So, not to draw much about it, but those moments, what would you do if you're into a situation that your source of inspiration or your pillar has been taken away from you? Those are the points, sometimes, in many people, that it can be a breaking point or your making point. You can decide whether to live about that circumstance or to live your life regretting and asking yourself why and blaming yourself for the things sometimes that you can't control. So it is that time, that definition of knowing who you are, will help you to move forward, will help you to be the better person you want to be. Because of sake of time, I'll just wrap up everything and say, sometimes you just need people in your life like mentors. Right now, I have lots of mothers because of networking and relationships. So stop waiting to be who you want to be, but start now to become the person you want to be. Thank you.